Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Colonia Invades Woodbridge Town Hall. Let me try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. That's better. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here for the always pleasant task of celebrating Italian-American heritage with our ceremony on the Sunday of Columbus Day weekend. I'd like to first call up the event chair and past Italian-American Man of the Year, past Board of Ed member, Ezio Tamburello, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. A couple of quick introductions from our town council. We have First Ward Councilwoman Sharon McAuliffe. From our Fifth Ward, which I know all of you know, Councilwoman Debbie Meehan. And I think that covers all of the elected officials in the audience, except our first speaker, who is the state senator for the 19th district, covering Woodbridge, Perth Amboy South, Amboy Sayreville, and Carteret since 1997, a tremendous public servant, almost the dean of the delegation in Trenton among state senators. I'd like to introduce my very good friend, who's also of Italian-American heritage, Senator Joe Vitale.
So welcome, Colonia. I grew up in Colonia, born and raised. Great town. Thank you all for coming out this morning to celebrate Italian-American heritage and all that it means to us, to you, to your families, to your relatives, and all the contributions that American Italians have made to our country. I was thinking last night about my father, and the veterans who were of Italian descent who served our country. My father was first-generation Italian, along with his 6 brothers and 2 sisters, small family, rather Catholic, and so he served. He and 4 of his brothers served during World War II. Again, first-generation Italians who answered the call, served their countries, and thankfully made it home in one piece. So there's a lot to think about when we talk about Italian Americans and their contributions to our country, to our culture, to our families, to our past and our future. And just like the mayor, thank you, Mayor, for putting this together again, and your team and my team as well. We celebrate a variety of different ethnic groups every year. The Irish have a pretty good turnout, although we're getting close this year, and several others that we celebrate and acknowledge their contributions to our town and to what that means to our country as well, because we're all from immigrant families, and that is very special for our country. Our democracy is founded on the principles that everyone is equal, everyone has a voice, and everyone should vote. So with that being said, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce another fine American of Italian descent, someone who served us in Congress for a variety of years now, and also chairman of what is considered to be the Health Committee, and a variety of different issues that he has led in Washington on our behalf. And it's my privilege, and I'm proud to introduce our good friend, Congressman Frank Pallone.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mayor. And I see the speaker just came in. I'm going to sound like Joe Vitale today. One of the things, I don't know if I ever told your mayor, but a few years ago, when you first started putting up the veterans posters, right, with the different veterans that served in town, I talked to my brother, who's the mayor in Long Branch, where I'm from, and I said, gee, that's a great idea. And so he started doing it last summer, I think. They were there from Memorial Day until Veterans Day. And of course, just like Joe, I'm going to say that one of the ones that went up were my father and my uncle, and people see them. They're along the boardwalk in Long Branch, and I noticed that so many of them, I would say a majority, but I didn't actually count them, were Italian American, because so many have served. World War II, World War I, and Korean since then. It shows the contributions of Italian Americans to our national security, to our defense, has always been very strong. But I have you beat because one day I was talking to my grandfather, who was from Italy, Joe Pallone, and he told me about his brother, who was from the same town in Calabria. And I said, I noticed that my grandmother writes to people in Buenos Aires and Montreal and Paris and all these places. Who are all these people that she's writing to? And he said to me, well, those are my brother's children. I said, well, how many are there? He said 21 kids. But his first wife died, so it wasn't all the same wife, but in any case. So large families. But I just wanted to say, I have to bring up Columbus. Some of you have heard me say this before, and again, it's kind of what Joe said. When I think about Columbus and Italian Americans, but particularly Columbus, because we have Columbus Day tomorrow, and going to the Columbus Day parade in Long Branch. That's where I've got partially for you guys and also for the Columbus Day parade, I've got my Italian colors on today. I really think about the spirit of discovery and innovation, right? We talk a lot about that today in our country and how it's so important to make investments, innovation, to come up with new technology. And that was true then with Columbus, and it's even true today. The fact of the matter is that we will not survive, whether you talk about our defense, our national security, whatever, we will not survive unless we're moving ahead with new technology, innovation, new spirit of discovery. Once we lose that, it's very hard to be a great nation. It's very hard to be out front, if you will. And I think that Columbus was sort of the perfect example of that. And many Italian Americans, Galileo, Marconi, whatever, were great inventors and contributed so much to new technology and new ways of doing things. And so I want you to always keep that in mind too, because that's also something that's very much a part of our Italian or Italian American heritage that's really very important and continues to be important. So thank you again.
Thank you very much, Congressman. And now I'd like to introduce our 19th District Assemblyman who serves in Trenton with Joe, represents the same town. He's been there for 14 years. He's currently the Assembly Speaker as elected by his colleagues in Trenton, which is quite an honor. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Coughlin.
Just providing some balance, McCormick and Coughlin, Vitale and Pallone. Good. Don't let the last name fool you. My grandmother's maiden name was Bazzini. The truth of the matter is, this is a great day for all of us who have some Italian-American heritage. To Salvador, congratulations. To Camille, to Ezio, congratulations on being awarded, being recognized, and for being here. The great day. Frank talked about it a little bit, but when we think about the Italian culture, we think about innovation, exploration, we think about food, and mostly we think about family, and we think about fun and friends and getting together. That is the essence of what the Italian-American culture means here in the United States, right? Leaders, innovators, people who bring people together. And it's such a joy to come out on these on flag raising event like today. I get to go to a whole lot of them, and it is really, truly a great American moment, because what we are as Americans is fiercely proud of being Americans and fiercely proud of our heritage. I'm not sure if you went to too many other countries in the world and asked them, where are you from, they'd understand what you meant. Here, what are you means what nationality is your heritage, where did your ancestors come from. And so we celebrate all of those things. We do that here today. So it's a pleasure and privilege to be with you to celebrate our shared Italian heritage and to honor the people who are being awarded, and to thank my running mate, my colleague, Senator Vitale, who has done this for so many years. Joe, thank you for doing that. Thank you for continuing to lead on that. And let's continue to celebrate our differences and what brings us together. Thank you all. Have a great morning, everybody.
Thank you, Craig. So I may be a McCormick, but I married a Magliazzi, whose mother's Sicilian. So say a prayer for me. I would now like to begin the process of presenting the awards. And I'm first going to call up Salvatore Piccinini. How are you, sir? So whereas there are over 26 million Americans of Italian descent in the United States, of which 2 million reside in New Jersey, and more than 14,000 reside in Woodbridge Township. representing the 10th largest Italian-American population in New Jersey, and who have made significant contributions to our social, cultural, and economic life, and who enjoy a rich history rooted in an ancient civilization that has the most profound influence in every aspect of our society. And whereas each year the observance of Italian-American heritage serves as a time whereby Woodbridge Township takes a moment to recognize members of the Woodbridge Township Italian-American community who have made incredible contributions to the success and standing of our community. And whereas New Jersey State Senator Joseph F. Vitale and the Knights of Columbus Colonial Council 6571, on the occasion of the 2023 Italian-American Heritage Observance, announced and introduced Salvatore Piccinini, a first-generation Italian-American from Altamura, Bari, longtime resident of the Colonia section of Woodbridge, community volunteer serving the Colonia Youth Soccer Association, the Coalition to House the Homeless in Union County, and Coach Against Cancer, and as a contributor and benefactor to numerous community associations and programs. Whereas the Honorable Salvatore Piccinini is announced as the Italian-American Heritage Man of the Year on the observance of the 19th Annual Woodbridge Italian-American Heritage Celebration, and is recognized for contributions to the Woodbridge Township community. Ladies and gentlemen, our Italian-American Heritage Man of the Year, Salvatore Piccinini. What's with those glasses?
The Dollar Tree, my friend. Esteemed guests, it is an honor to stand before you and speak about acceptance and appreciation of our community. Today, I stand here proud to be an Italian American. I am proud of the sacrifices my ancestors made to provide me with the opportunities I have today. I am proud of the values instilled in me by my family and community. And I am proud of the rich tapestry of Italian-American culture that continues to thrive. I want to express my gratitude to all of those who have supported and embraced the Italian-Americans throughout history. Your acceptance has allowed us to flourish and contribute to the fabric of the nation that lets us continue to build bridges, break down barriers, and promote all acceptance for all. Excuse me, I'm a little nervous. Special thanks to Senator Vitale, Mr. Pallone, Mr. McCormick, Township Council, the Knights of Columbus, Mr. Craig Coughlin, thank you, and members of the nominating committee. Initially, I would like to recognize them, my beloved family and friends. Without them, I wouldn't be the Italian American I am today. Grazie e viva Italia!
Okay, right after the ceremony, we're going to take pictures with family members. So, folks, you heard his resume. Kids, homeless, cancer survivors. Any questions about this man's character? I didn't think so. Next up, I'd like to call up Ms. Italian America, Camille Monaco. So you probably don't realize this, but I go back a long way with your father-in-law. We used to play in a softball team together in the 1980s. I was at first base, he was at third base. I have so many pulled muscles trying to catch the wild throws he made. But it's good to see him here celebrating your award. I won't read the beginning, which is the same on both proclamations, but whereas Camille Monaco has devoted her career as an educator within the Woodbridge Township School District, rising through various teaching positions to her current position as Supervisor of Reading and Writing K through 5, ASI, INRS, Dyslexia, and Nursing 504. The Honorable Camille Monaco is announced as Ms. Italian America on the observance of the 19th Annual Woodbridge Township Italian American Heritage Celebration, and is hereby recognized for her achievements and contributions to the Woodbridge Township community. Ladies and gentlemen, Camille Monaco.
I also have a little speech. Hello, everyone. I want to start off by thanking Mr. Harris and Mr. Tamburello for selecting me as Miss Italian America. It is truly an honor. And thank you to everyone who is here today to celebrate this proud moment with me. If you know me, you know how important my Italian culture is to me. It has literally shaped and defined me into the person I am today. My pride for my heritage started at the young age in the cafeteria of Robert Masenic Elementary, watching the other children eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on mushy soft bread, while I bit into my delicious sopressata sandwich on crunchy semolina bread, while thinking to myself, those poor kids with that lunch, I'm so lucky. When the holidays were approaching, I would listen to classmates share what their holiday traditions were, and again, I felt so lucky. Holidays meant being at Nonno and Nonna's house with an excessive amount of first cousins, spending hours at the table eating, being loud, and drinking espresso. And yes, I drank espresso in elementary school. My parents always made sure that I knew where I came from by keeping the Italian culture and traditions alive in our home. I grew up listening to Italian music, watching Italian shows, and eating a different type of pasta almost every single night. As the years went on, those special things that made me feel lucky helped me understand how truly amazing it is to be an Italian American. My husband Michael and I want our two sons to be proud of their heritage and understand their roots. We want them to experience a true Italian American life. I am proud of my culture and what it represents. I am proud of my grandparents as well as the other men and women of their generation who left behind all that they knew, who ventured into a land unfamiliar and unwelcoming, who risked it all for better lives for themselves and their children. They are the backbone to this country, a country built on the promise of hard work and family, a country built out of the blood, sweat, and tears of those immigrants. As Ronald Reagan once said, all of the immigrants, and certainly the Italians, changed our country by adding to the sum total of what we are. They did not take from, they added to. And that is why I am proud to be an Italian American. Thank you.